Well, it's English lesson time. I build a chapel.
I build the chapel.
You build a chapel.
You build the chapel.
Oh, we build a chapel.
We build the chapel. He built the chapel.
Amen.
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 Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen. Amen. Sing it over. Amen. 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 See the baby wrapped in the manger on Christmas morning. See him in the temple talking with the elders who marvel at his wisdom. Down at the Jordan where John was baptizing and saving all sinners. See him at the seaside talking with the fishermen and making them disciples. Marching in Jerusalem over palm branches in pomp and splendor. See him in the garden praying to his Father in deepest sorrow. Led before Pilate, then they crucified him, but he rose on Easter. Amen, 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 hallelujah. He died to save us, and he lives forever. Hallelujah.
Hey, you guys, good morning and happy Sunday. Obviously, that was a tribute to the one and only Sidney Poitier, passed a few days ago, 94 years of age. What a lovely life he led indeed. Well, let's get to it, y'all. How y'all doing? Hey, Hear Her TV. What's going on, girl? What's up, Vibrant Love? Running errands on this lovely Sunday. Miss T Velocity in her skybox seat. Thank you so much for listening. What's up, Allie the Sag? How you doing, honey? Hey, Cassie, you smooches cuteness. What's up, Team AJ in the motherfucking house? Happy Sunday, you guys. Let's see. What the hell are we going to talk about? A lot of world events, you guys. I don't even know where to freaking start. Oh, I will start here. Ugh, these weirdos. This is from the Shade Room. Gregory Michael, Travis McMichael, life without parole for the murder of Ahmaud. And William Bryant Jr. receives life with the possibility of parole. Can we get a hand clap for the justice system and a rest in peace for Ahmaud and a peaceful life for his parents, friends, and loved ones? So shout out to the justice system for finally, golly, because baby, that was just a straight up, that was more than a murder though, right? That was like, that was a hunt. It was crazy. And the fact that they thought they were going to get away with it too, like, oh, okay. Ugh, anyway. So I was happy to see that. Indeed, does not bring back his life, but nevertheless. What's up, Junetta? What's up, Trina B? Good morning. They really typecasted him because he was black during the civil rights movement, but he was an amazing actor. Rest in peace. I just want to leave that comment up there all day long. Well, I don't know. I mean, he's played some smart roles, but your comment is definitely well received. He was typecasted to a certain degree, but hey, it was the timing of it all. The justice system finally getting their shit together. Okay, girl. I mean, there's a few more, so we'll see what's gonna happen. We'll be talking about these cases for sure, for sure. What's up, Tony Montana? Happy Saturday, Sunday. See what I'm saying? Now I am sipping on my expensive coffee, so I don't know why I'm mixing up Saturday and Sunday, but nevertheless. So I wanted to shout out Sydney Portier. Shout out to Betty White. Um, I think I did that last week though, but she's still on my mind. Yes, Raisin in the Sun was, yeah, it was. I liked the play as well. Raisin in the Sun was a classic, 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 classic. Um, and I do want to do this too because I just want to give him Sidney Portier his just due. So, young man, Sidney Portier, looking all handsome here. Look at him. Just the epitome of Black excellence. Okay. And then, of course, we cannot forget, honey. What? You better come on, Dapper Portier. You better come through with that Oscar, boo. Yes, indeed. So, typecast or not, give me my motherfucking Oscar. Okay. What's up, Boo Thang, Houston Bread? Hey, Victoriously Shake. Thank you so much for dropping down. All right, y'all. What else are we gonna talk about? Oh, I do want to. Do you guys know who Elizabeth Holmes is? Do you guys know who Elizabeth Holmes is? The founder, or I should say, the co-founder of Theranos. She was convicted of. Thank you guys for everybody who's sharing the video. Smooches, you guys. Elizabeth was. Let me get a picture for her, y'all, real quick. Elizabeth was the founder of Theranos. It was supposed to be, this is the infamous picture, so I guess I'll show this one. She was the founder of Theranos, and it was supposed to be a groundbreaking new technology that was going to change the world and change how people actually, it won't even let me see. Elizabeth got her shit. Okay. It's like, nope, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. No, I don't want to do all that. I just want to show a picture of Elizabeth. Okay. She was the founder of Theranos. It's supposed to be a groundbreaking new technology where people were going to be able to get their testing done in regards to knowing everything that was wrong with them currently, what could be wrong with them in the future. She had the biggest supporters in regards to financial supporters that there are, like the Warren Buffetts of the world. And I mean, just big time money. She raised $1 billion, you know what I mean, in regards to this company and doing research. And they determined that it was all a fraud. Okay. So Elizabeth, this is Elizabeth Holmes, you guys, if you didn't know. But she was like a young genius. I've seen a lot of her documentaries. I won't suggest any of the documentaries at this point, but after they do a full documentary of like once they sentence her, then I'm sure somebody's going to come out with a real documentary. And what I mean by real is the complete story, but it's fascinating to me, just everything she did and the way that she was able to the level that she was able to scam was just, I'm going to just say it was poetic. I mean, it's no secret that I like a good scammer on this level because it's just mind blowing that you're able exactly swindle all those millionaires and billionaires out of their money. She did, y'all. It was crazy. So Elizabeth got sentenced 4 out of 11 counts, which is very interesting in and of itself. So we'll be following that. If you guys aren't familiar with it, again, this is a rough draft of her life and everything. We'll talk more about it if you guys are interested in it. But I just wanted to say that because that was hot off the breaking presses, honey. Like, 4 out of 11 is kind of suspect too. But I will say this. If you have $1 billion, I expect for you to pay off a couple of people and be able to get some of those charges taken off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just more curious about the time that she's actually going to spend. And I think it's going to be Fed time. So I think they're going to Martha Stewart her. But I don't know. Martha didn't swindle billions of dollars. So I don't know. I think it's going to be very interesting. We'll see. We will see what happens to her. She had a whole baby. She had a whole baby and then dropped. Oh boy, y'all. She had a boy. The co-founder, excuse me, because her boyfriend was like, I think he's Indian. Somebody in the chat can correct me. I know he's East Asian, but I don't know what it is exactly. But I believe he's Indian. But baby, she hurry up and had a baby. For sympathy. Like, now that's, yes, a sympathy baby, Houston Bred. That's gangster. That's savage. Because you can almost, I don't know Elizabeth, but y'all, Elizabeth is so cold-hearted, so stoic, so poker face. Elizabeth don't want no damn baby. Elizabeth said, y'all got me fucked up. I'm about to have this baby on y'all ass. And then broke up with the man, or he broke up with her, but I think that was for purposes of the trial, because her attorneys tried to blame him for a lot of stuff, So we'll see. What's up, Quiet Storm? Good morning. What is Miss Hummingbird? Good morning. There are 2 projects in production about her, one starring Jennifer Lawrence and another starring Amanda Seyfried. Remind me what Amanda Seyfried has been in. Jennifer Lawrence? Okay, girl, you got to do a badass job though, okay? I mean, but remind me what I've seen Amanda in, because I don't remember. But thank you for that, Hummingbird. So they're doing 2 projects. I wanted to see, I don't even know if I want to see a movie. I'm going to watch the movie. I want to see a documentary, honey. And I want them to get some of these billionaires on there and tell us what the fuck was going on. The one documentary I saw, what am I trying to say? They went back in her life and they interviewed her old professors, and so it was fairly good. But Mean Girls, shit. Which one? Okay, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Mean Girls, but I have seen it. White women been having baby, the black women could have learned something from that. So don't even get me started on that. What's up, Miss Legale? Good morning, girl. Mean Girls. Amanda was Chloe, I think. Oh, see, I don't remember her being a strong actress enough to play this. Has she done something more recent? Mean Girls was a long time ago. Y'all so stupid. Y'all so shady without being shady. Okay, that motherfucker say with the one with the real big eyes. What'd you say, Mister? I remember reading about her and her scheming. Y'all, that story is so fascinating to me. Like, I'm telling you, I'm like, damn. Like, it's on the level of Bernie Madoff. Like, it's pretty gigantic to me. You know what I mean? They say she was in Big Love on HBO. Big Love. Now, I love me some Big Love. Do y'all remember Big Love? About the polygamous family? Now, that was my shit. Was she the blonde in Big Love? Because, baby, now that was a badass actress. Oh, yeah. Okay, she was in Big Love. Oh, that was a bad. Now she's a badass actress. Okay, I love Big Love. I might have to revisit Big Love. That's one of them things. I don't rewatch a whole lot of stuff, but I loved Big Love. It was very well done. What's up, my model citizen and real life homegirl, Robin? Thank you so much for joining me. You said you don't remember her in Big Love? Well, they just told me she was the blonde in Big Love. Wasn't that the one that her dad was sleeping with her too, and they had this creepy ass relationship and shit? I haven't seen it in years, but I guess that was them. Anyway, well, that's Elizabeth Holmes, y'all. Did y'all see her? She put on her little black turtleneck like Steve Jobs and shit. The girl got some shit going on in her head. She one of them crazy, evil ass geniuses. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just want to know what the sentencing is. And then remember, y'all, if you hear anything about Jesse and I miss it, Jussie, I know it's Jussie, but child, please. Jesse, let me know what they're gonna send us his beat. Him, because Lord have mercy. Okay, Houston Bray. Yeah, you can and the fake. Ooh, and girl, and the professor said that voice was fake. I said it gotta be. Look at you and T Major at the same time. Let me see if I can do the voice. And for those of you who don't know, yeah, like now she like sounds like Sassy, and she's like, you know, kind of Valley girl. Like that's her real voice. Y'all, when she put together that Theranos plan, honey, that blueprint to swindle the boys out of their money, honey. She put on that black turtleneck like Steve Jobs, and that bitch was like, yeah, so this is Sassy, and I'm very stoic, and I have a lot of things to talk to you guys about, and I am going to sound very measured. Yeah, it was crazy. And they actually took that voice as real. The first time I saw that, I said, bitch, that can't be your voice. It's no, y'all, okay, truth be told, I thought she was transgender. I really did. I thought she was transgender. I thought the bitch was transgender because she looked crazy to me. Her hair looked fake. She looked too stoic. She walked like a man. She walked like y'all. I might have to recommend the documentary so y'all can see that one, the one that I saw. Yes, Miss Hummingbird, that's exactly it. I mean, I wish I could talk like this the whole show, but I probably would lose the 21 people that I have in here. So I'm not going to do that. But if I want you guys to take me more seriously, then I probably should talk in my more deeper voice because I'll sound more intelligent. Okay? Ooh, that takes a lot of time. Me and Houston Brad were just talking about like putting on a persona. My head's starting to hurt and shit. How long was that? 20 or 30 seconds? I can't do that shit. Jeez Louise. Hell no. What's up, Jake Truth? Damn, y'all, I'm serious. I'm having anxiety and shit. I can't. How the fuck that bitch do that for years? Shit, I guess if I was $1 billion was on the floor, bitch, you better, bitch, you better. Yeah, Robin, we saw the one on HBO. We saw the one on HBO Max. So if you have HBO Max, then look up Elizabeth Theranos, and it's like I said, it's a pretty good preliminary one. But I like to watch all of the documentaries, even if the story is still going on. But I want to see the ending documentary. Okay. Oh, okay, girl. It's like shit. So what else we gonna talk about? Let's talk about crazy Antonio Brown real quick. Do y'all know who Antonio Brown is? He was a wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's moved around a lot. He's had a lot of issues throughout his NFL career. But honey, this one right here, this one was it. Let's look at the clip and then let's see if for you guys that haven't seen it, let's see what you guys think. Like, I mean, can somebody recover from this type of public exit? Okay, let's just see. Hold on. I'm trying to learn.
Antonio Brown, that's Antonio Brown without his uniform, we are told, without his jersey, and running onto the field. I don't know if that could have been a penalty.
All right, Jen Hale, get after that. We got to find out what's going on there.
She's got to catch him first. It's unbelievable. He's had his issues off the field. Now he's on the field creating an issue. Low pass hauled in and good enough for the first down.
Guys, very odd situation. Antonio Brown boiled over, very upset on the sideline, took off his shoulder pads. Mike Evans, O.J. Howard trying to convince him to keep them on. Obviously, they were unable to do so. He tossed his shoulder pads, stripped off his shirt and glove, threw those into the crowd, then ran across the field while the teams were still on the field, giving the crowd a peace out sign. I'll let you know when we hear something official on his status.
Thank you, Jen. It may be an Antonio Brown out in Tampa Bay. At some point, enough is enough. Brady, catch inside the 10. Watching the behavior, unusual behavior. the team was frustrated, but over on the sideline, Jen Hale described that he was angry. Somebody tried to calm him down. I think it was Mike Evans. So he took off his jersey and then his shirt. And then as he throws this in, he was moving around on the field when they weren't snapping the ball, but the teams were on the field lined up for a play. And there's his.
I've never seen anything like it. I've been affiliated with the NFL for over 30 years, and I have never seen anything like that in those 30 years.
Sorry about that, y'all. Yeah. So that was that. What did you say, Houston Red? I think he's done after this. I wonder if he has brain injury we don't know about. So let's talk about it real quick. So J Truth, you're a mess. Yeah, well, we should care. Let me tell you why we should care. This is a black brother that obviously has had, as you can hear the commentator saying, he's had several incidents off the field. And then this is the first time that anybody has seen anything like this, So we don't know if he has CTE. I don't know about that. He's a wide receiver. Wide receivers that's rare that they're going to have CTE, but we don't know about that, So let's talk about what we do know. We do know that mental illness is rampant. We do know that Black men are not particularly, they don't really think about mental illness or going to get it checked out or going to try to get help for themselves, their children, and their families. They try to brush things under the rug. And this man this is not a job, and I'm not being flippant, but this is not the equivalent of you getting on the microphone at Walmart and cussing a bitch out, because I'm sure you can go get another $12 an hour job. This man is making like crazy $500,000 a month. And he chooses to throw all of that away during an episode live on the field. Now, let me give y'all a little bit of backstory. He had a lot of issues. We won't go through all that because I know I'm dealing with a mostly female audience. So, I'm just giving you the rundown. But as of late, Tom Brady tells the Tampa Bay Buccaneers when he switches from New England Patriots to Tampa Bay. Hold on, let me sip a coffee. This is who I need to win a Super Bowl. Gronkowski is on the list, brings his ass out of retirement. I know y'all don't know who he is. He's a tight end that'll probably go to the Hall of Fame. He says who he needs to protect him, his O-line, and he says who he needs to throw the ball to, Antonio Brown. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers go out and get Antonio Brown despite his past behaviors off the field. They tell Brady, this is your call. You know what I'm saying? Brady says, I got your back. He moves Antonio Brown into his palatial estate with his wife and children so that he can keep an eye on him, so that he can give him some type of structure, so that he can, nurture him. Okay? This is the way that he pays Tom fucking Brady back. There is something wrong with him. There is something wrong with him. And I think that the reason why we should care is, you may not care about football, but maybe we should start really, really discussing our Black men and their lack of ability to seek professional help. And also the way that we look at Black men is not being emotional beings. I think that we should probably, maybe today is not the day, but I think that we should definitely discuss that further, because what he just did, and you have to understand also, when you have a Tom Brady rooting for you, bitch, you can't fuck that up. Because Tom Brady rooting for you is equivalent to legacy money for your children. You understand? Because after football, Tom is going to make a fucking phone call. And bitch, you can work wherever the fuck you want to work. Fox, not Fox News, but Fox Sports, ESPN, NFL Network. Like, that's legacy money. You understand? And you fucked that up. So a lot of us fuck up a lot of opportunities. But when you fuck up Tom Brady money, Tom Brady rooting for you, some shit going on. Gronk won me plenty of money in my fantasy football. Yeah, Gronkowski ain't no motherfucking joke on these hoes. What's up, Kamiko? Also, AB cussed his wife, his white baby mama out, calling her saltine. How fucking disgusting. Can you imagine? How fucking disgusting. Ew. Ew, that could have been my white homegirl. I would have said, bitch, see now, bitch. Ew. Yo, babe. Ew. See, some of these people, I don't know. The Sassy Show, did you see when his doctor came in to visit him? No, girl, what are you talking about? Oh, so yeah, see, that's what I mean about CTE. No, something wrong with this bitch. Something is wrong with him. Why? That's so juvenile. That lets me know that he's like mentally delayed. Yeah, that's what the fuck does that even mean? So he thought it was funny? You're a professional. I mean, I don't care who you are, but you're a professional man with a reputation to uphold. You think that's funny? No, he definitely wasn't, Allie. He definitely wasn't. There's no way he was. No, it's not that. Okay, Janelle, girl, I want to laugh, but I don't want to laugh. I want to cry. What? Victoriously. Girl, see what I'm saying? He was Robin. He was sticking by him. Shout out to Tom Brady, because we always talking about the white man. We always talking about, the NFL and what they do and what they don't do. Tom Brady. And of course it was self-serving. But in self-serving, it can be two things can be true at the same time. You can be self-serving at the same time of wanting to assist somebody that you feel like they have so much talent. You know what I'm saying? So two things can be correct at the same time. What's up, Cheryl Brown, the marvelous chef in the motherfucking house? What you say? All the AB stuff is on Twitter. That's where I get all the news. I got to get back. I'm on Twitter, but girl, I told y'all, I had substituted Twitter, Facebook, everything for, the other sector. So I got to get back on it, because sometimes it just starts to get to be too much, but I definitely need to. I think another team will give Antonio a chance, but his antics will get more and more extreme. Excuse me, y'all had the hiccups a bit. Oh, girl. They were discussing it. I think it was Michael. I think Michael Irving and somebody was discussing it. And I think I also saw Skip discussing it. I don't know. I think that's going to be interesting. We'll talk about it. If they give him another chance, we'll talk about it, because but the NFL is a business, honey. It's all about making them money, and he can make some plays and make some money. But see, the thing about him is I don't even see him being humble enough to be able to pass the interview. They gotta ask him, hey, face y'all smooches. If they'll ask him, are you gonna do better? He'll be like, bitch, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Speaking of bitches I don't know about, let's talk about the mistress real quick. I be sitting in those spaces and they let have. Girl, Twitter ain't no motherfucking joke. What's up, Nurse Shay? Twitter ain't no motherfucking joke. Let's talk about, I watched Tasha K's interview with the mistress, the infamous mistress. What's her name, y'all? What is this girl name? Shit. Anyway, y'all will tell me in a minute. What's up, MJAK? I watched that interview. I didn't get through all of it, but I thought it was very interesting. Let me see who saw the interview, because Tasha Arion, thank you, Kimiko. Who watched the interview? Because Tasha got her 1 million off of that interview. What does coleslaw mean? I don't know what that means. Me, y'all, if y'all put one word out there, I have no idea. Y'all, when I'm talking and doing the show, I don't get the references. Sometimes you have to actually write a phrase for me. So I apologize in advance. Hey, Miss O-Star girl, welcome. But Arion, see, let's talk about, the side dish. She was more than a side dish. So this is my opinion. So let's talk about it, because I think I'm going to ruffle some feathers. And I'm not trying to, this is my real opinion, right? She definitely wasn't a side piece. She was a mistress. He was taking care of her. He was in love with her. And in biblical times, it would have been she was the second wife, if we want to be exactly correct about it. So welcome everybody coming into the room. What's up, BL? Cheryl Brown already said, okay, got y'all. So there's jump offs, there's side pieces, there's mistresses. I think that if we were in biblical times, he would have just married her and that would have been that. Martell is the who he is. So that's what I wanted to know. How many of you guys know the Martell Melody Holt story with the mistress? The TV show is Marriage and Love Huntsville. So Tasha K did an interview. Again, she got her 1 million subscribers on that interview. And it was very interesting indeed. The lady was very cavalier. I think that I would have assumed that she had some type of, Love and Marriage Huntsville. Thank you. I would assume that she has some type of coach or some type of agent, but maybe she doesn't. I don't know. But I think that if I were, and I would have loved to have been her PR, because she could have turned that situation around, being more humble and being more transparent. But she wasn't. She was very cavalier. She did not want to give Melody, who is the wife, an apology. She kept playing semantics, which is what a lot of defensive people do when they're trying to win an argument. I remember one statement. She said, "Oh, they said that I called the wife whose name is Melody, and I said, put Martell on the fucking phone." Well, I did say put him on the phone, but I didn't say put him on the fucking phone. Well, bitch, let me tell you something. I don't give a good goddamn if you use the word fucking or not. You call somebody else's wife. You called your lover's wife and told her to put her husband on the phone. If you use the word fucking or not, it's fucking irrelevant, actually. So she did not do herself any justice. It's probably one of the reasons why Oprah won't let her on the show. Because Oprah's probably like, girl, if I'm going to put you on the show as a side piece, I'm going to get a lot of slack for it. So you're going to at least have to be humble about it. But she's not, because she thinks that she was equal to the wife. Very uncouth, very. She thinks she was equal to the wife. She does not understand. This is not biblical days. This is not, another country. This is not France, where it's clearly clear, like, the prime minister can have a wife and, a girlfriend, a long-term mistress. That we don't live in that society. This is the United States of America. And if you're fucking another woman's husband, then you're going to be. No, I never heard about Oprah selling own child. But if you're going to be fucking another woman's husband, then you're going to have to cut some of that off. At least can she fake it? I guess she couldn't even fake it. Tasha asked if she wanted to do an interview. An apology. That bitch said, no, I'm not giving her no apology. It was weird. Yeah, no, he has to be blamed. You know what I mean? He let her feel that comfortable. They're probably both cavalier. If you're dating a married man, you're cavalier, and he's cavalier if he's a married man dating another woman. So they're both probably equally yoked. But, she and herself should understand, like, come on, girl. She has an entitled way about her. She is doing all this for attention. She is fake to me. Hey, exclusive me smooches. Let me break this down. She has an entitled way about her. I absolutely agree. She is doing this all for attention. I don't think so. I don't get that energy that she's doing it all for attention. I think she's doing it because she feels like she's been done wrong. And that's what entitlement means. So thank you, Kamiko. So Oprah did to Discovery. Yeah. See, that's not okay. She owns 49% and Discovery owns the 51%. Okay. That's kind of semantics to me. Oprah is the executive producer of all the owned stuff. So that's all I mean by it. But they can put that Discovery money behind it for sure. She's under the Discovery umbrella for sure. So that's great. But she didn't sell it to Discovery. That was for money purposes, in my opinion. But she still has full control. So, and she didn't sell most of it. She sold, yeah. So anyway, I guess 51% is considered most. But again, y'all like to get into semantics. Oprah still has, she has all rights to it. That was for money purposes. So it's still her. So the mistress isn't going to blame Discovery Channel. She's going to blame Oprah because Oprah is over the producing and the production of the show, as she is all of her shows. So that's that on that. Like I said, it was okay. It was an okay interview, but I think what did Tasha get? I can say it's okay all day long. Tasha got 500,000 views off of that. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. What else we going to talk about? Oh, you guys, just real quick. I was on Yusef's channel the other day, yesterday. And he had Toxic Diamond on there. I don't know how many of you guys know her. I don't know a lot about her backstory. I kind of started watching her midway in, and it was a little too toxic for me. So I would just, kind of, come in and out of there. But I thought it was curious that he had her on his show. And so I took the opportunity to click the link and ask her a few questions. If you guys want to check out that particular broadcast, it's called Channel Launch Was Successful but Still Kind of Bored on My Birthday. What You Doing? No, that's a long title, but Channel Launch Was Successful but Still Kind of Bored on My B-Day. What You Doing? It was really, really cool to be able to ask somebody questions that has had some type of success on YouTube, and also her thought process. She is obviously has had a lot of toxicity in her life, but her business acumen really shined yesterday with me asking her particular questions about YouTube. She talks about the beef sector, what she thinks about the beef sector, what she thought about the algorithm, how it has a hold on you. She explained what shadow banning was. And I'm going to pat myself on the back because I had this conversation 6 months ago, if not, I don't know, maybe 4 to 6 months ago. And I just knew what I knew intuitively. But for someone else, like I said, with over, I think she has 165,000 subscribers. She has a YouTube manager. She has, I think, 11 channels. 5 of them are monetized. She has a Dutch channel, a Spanish channel, a Chinese channel where she does her regular commentary, but then she switches over the language. Those are monetized and doing fairly well. So I wanted to pick her brain, and she was very gracious in allowing me to do that. And it was just very interesting. And like I was very curious as to what she would say about the beef sector, what she had to say about the beef sector. And again, it really, really confirmed what I know to be true about it. And to me, it was blatant. And that's why one of the reasons why I made the choices that I made. And it's one of the reasons why I didn't even want to dip a pinky toe in there, but I was kind of, it was tempting and I did it and it was fun, but there's no growth because YouTube has said no to you guys. And it's not just the beef sector. I could have chosen another ratchet sector to get into and it would have been the same outcome, but shadow banning is real. It's something that content creators that are starting out really, really need to be aware of and not be fooling themselves into thinking that they're going to be able to grow out of a particular sector, in my opinion. Welcome to everybody coming into the room. Thank you guys, everybody who's sharing it. Please take a minute to like and share and comment, subscribe if you aren't already. I really appreciate you guys for being such willing participants. But yeah, you guys go check that out. I thought that was, like I said, it was good to pick her brain for a little bit and just, see what's going on. Oh, and let me drop the link in case anybody has anything to say. The other things that I haven't been watching a lot of the other sector. I told you guys I'm trying to slowly but surely, kind of get out of my addiction. So, but I'm not dumb enough to know that the addiction won't be replaced with something else. I've been watching a lot of other stuff, and some of this stuff is wild. And in regards to what people are going through in their real lives, and they're just choosing to vlog about it, And so I didn't know anything about Misunderstood, but she has a very, very interesting story. And I guess she's very transparent because she's like, um, Afro Latino woman sharing that she is addicted to meth, all her trials and tribulations, her goings ons on YouTube with all of her relationships and sexual escapades and her children. And it's just very interesting. So I don't really want to talk about it in detail, but I just wanted you guys to know that that's kind of what I'm more interested in, just the real life shit that's going on, and more like the vlogging, because you guys know how I'm very interested in documentaries, because I like to hear from the parties themselves, like what's actually going on. That is an interesting story. I hate that I'm so late to that, because a lot of these people private videos you can't find. I've tried to do a research and try to hear from her point of view, but she's trying to go through recovery. So it's all kind of mixed up, but it's crazy. Hey, Miss Cruiser, welcome, honey. And yeah, YouTube definitely limits certain channels' reach. Yeah, but yeah, more than that. It's deeper than that, and I guess a lot of people don't want to talk about it, but she has some great points. So you guys go over there and check that out. So anybody who wants to click the link, I didn't really have a lot to talk about. Oh Lord, I really don't even want to talk about that. But y'all, what the hell is wrong with Jim Jones? I wrote that down. Yeah, she's Afro Latino. You didn't know that, Robin? She speaks fluent Spanish. Hold on, y'all, because I gotta start doing this. Yeah, she's Afro Latino. Langston.
What's going on?
Hey, Mr. Carruthers.
Hello, good morning, folks.
Good morning, Mr. Carruthers.
What's going on?
How you been?
Happy New Year, Carruthers.
Happy New Year, Langston.
How are you doing, man, health-wise?
Health-wise, I'm doing 100% better. I'm not going to say, I shouldn't say 100%, but I'm at the point now that I realize, some things you got to get off your chest. And if you don't do it, it's going to make your health even worse.
Right, right. And I had wanted to tell you that, because I know when this first started, what you're experiencing, you had stated that you wanted to kind of move away from arguing with people. And I know you thought at that time that was a good thing. But sometimes, like you just mentioned, it can be cathartic to, how do they say it here? Read somebody down. There's something innately cleansing to the spirit when you curse somebody out. So keep that in mind. And I think you're getting to that point where you understand that sometimes letting your feelings out about that bum, Sir King, or anybody else is good for the soul.
Okay.
It's the chicken soup for the soul. But real quick,
you know what? That's why I'm up here. Like, everybody's trying to wonder where's my thing at. When I was in the chat typing, I had my little freight train running through, because that's letting people know, hey, I'm about ready to get on some bitch shit.
Okay, not over here though. For
not
either
over
one
here.
Of you guys.
Okay,
for either one of you gentlemen. Thank you.
We'll respect that.
Thank you.
No. I appreciate that. But what I came up here is to talk about Misunderstood. From what I hear, isn't she monetizing her meth addiction? Isn't that what her channel is about? Doesn't she, over the past 2 years, regularly fall off the wagon, which addicts will do? That is kind of an expectation. But isn't the whole thing designed to receive donations, to get people sympathy, to get people wrapped up in her story? Isn't that what that's about?
I mean, I don't know. That's one way to look at it. I think the other way to look at it, because two things can be true at the same time, is that it is helpful to her to get out those type of feelings and that type of, it's it's a way for her to vent as well. I mean, she doesn't have a million people watching her, so I'm not sure what type of money she's making, and also she makes a lot of money herself. So
there are rumors that she's, and again, these are rumors that she runs an escort service, but I don't
right,
know
and
too.
that she runs an escort service, and that she's a professional uh ballroom dancer. So yeah, I mean,
Wow, she's
there
very
and
culture, very,
yeah,
very
there are
refined. Yeah.
pictures that kind of suggest that that's true. So yeah, she's just, I
Oh,
mean,
I
but
can
her
believe she's a dancer because I know we have some people in the beef sector that believe they're dancers because they're jogging in place. They're jogging in place, and then they want us to believe there's some type of professional dancer. Yeah.
Like that.
What?
What is your channel's name so I can get up there and have a bell to bell
It's called.
conversation?
I'm glad you asked. It's called the Langston's Pop Up Shop, and people always ask me where can I find Langston's Pop Up Shop. You're right here. It's these are, and this is what content creators in the beef sector should start doing. You rent out your platform to lesser content creators who don't have the same subscriber count, and then because I rented out that what was it, an hour time slot from Sassy. She made me pay her for that 1 hour, and I was able to communicate my thoughts. And other content creators should consider that as well. Rent out an hour, rent out a spot on your channel to let people get their word out. Because let me tell you something, Carruthers, you may want to consider paying like Bree or somebody or Pizarro or
Okay.
because you only get like 5 people in your channel. But
Yeah, right.
so what I would recommend is you rent out a space on some content creator channel instead of doing listen to me, instead of doing a standalone BAN channel, just
Yeah.
rent out a space on some content creator's channel. But anyway, what I did was I rented out space from Sassy on her channel for an hour because I wanted to get a large audience to hear me,
Right.
So what it turned out, that particular video got 1.2 thousand views. Then Fi uses it, shout out to Fi. She used it, even though she didn't compensate us for that clip. But we'll let it slide this time, Fi, because you're from the Henry Horner homes. I know how things. I know how they get down. They used to get down in the Henry Horner home, so I have much
If this
respect for
man
Fi.
should have been a comedian.
No. You know about the Henry Horner homes, right, Carruthers? Did
Like
you
you're something else.
over by the L track?
Do you actually have a real channel though that I could come up there and
no,
check
he
it out?
doesn't. He doesn't, Mr.
Okay.
Carruthers.
But
That's what he's saying.
yeah,
Yeah.
we done. Well,
And this is the thing. Like, I get it that you guys are only really, this is why, for everybody who doesn't know, I have another channel. I do other stuff on that other channel because it's like you can't get away from people that you met in a particular sector wanting to talk about those people in that sector. And I'm not interested in it.
Yeah. See, you hear
I'm
that,
not
Carruthers?
interested in it.
She's telling us don't bring this nonsense to her channel. Now you can bring this to the Langston's pop-up shop, Carruthers, and that will be open for business soon because we got some people talking reckless. But yeah, back to Misunderstood.
okay.
Yeah, she's something else. I may, like you, Sassy, I may have to start watching Misunderstood more so I can kind of better understand her story. But I'm hearing a lot of salacious details emerge. Something about a old creep in a Big Bear cabin who may have got sloppy toppy from Misunderstood. So those elements very, very spicy. And I'm kind of interested and I think that Sug character, he may have piped her down as well. I don't know if she's a pass around in the beef sector, the black sector, but I'm interested to see her story and see her growth. If she really plans on growing, or if she's going to continue to milk the Method Dixon story for dollars. But anyway, Carruthers, I'll leave you up here with Sassy. Have a good one.
You're all right. Thank you, Langston. Well, Sassy, you're right. He is a character. You gotta love him.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
But about that Andre, that football player's plight,
Antonio. Hmm.
Antonio, I'm thinking that he had to have problems growing up as a child through his adult years as an adult, and like he was. You remember how they used to get on people about passing kids through school that they can't read or write?
Yep. Hmm.
See, I'm thinking maybe that's his problem right there, going through life. He was passed around some kind of way. I don't mean sexually, but just educational wise, being brought up, to be a man, how to be taught to be a man, and you know, so
Well, I think that's a very good point. Good morning, Southern Belle. Good to see you, honey. I want to talk to you too. I want to talk to
yeah,
you about
I'm
something,
so
Southern Belle.
good.
If you can hit me up under one of my comments, under this comment, that would be great. Um, yeah, I think that that's a good point. I don't know about the reading and writing part, but I understand the umbrella that you're talking about. So
Right.
basically, it's probably more so that the bad behavior was not really. Hold on, Houston.
Hey, Sassy, how are you?
Hey, honey.
Hey.
Let me just finish this thought real quick. I think that the overall consensus is that the behavior from a superstar player, because those players are recognized at a very young age, and so maybe he just got away with a lot of stuff. However, there's something. A lot of people get away with a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? Something is wrong with him mentally.
Right. Mentally, that's what I'm saying. It's got to be. But see, on the other thing, when you said, now, I'm looking at things from an old black perspective. When you mention him being taken into Tom Brady's house and all this kind of stuff, it makes you look like it sounded like he was a field hand taken out of the field and brought inside to be groomed and everything for this football player, this white quarterback. And that to me sounds like it's asinine. A real black man, I wouldn't think, would try to be his own man. He doesn't need another man to tell him that he needs him. But then again, when you're out on the field, you do as I say do.
Well, that's what I'm. Why do you? Okay, but why are you guys? And I say you guys because you're not the only person with that type of ideology. But why don't you look at it as another man trying to lift up another man because he can see that he's troubled?
That's the point.
What is the point?
It's all about Tom Brady lifting. Where's all the other black players?
Well,
I've
they
been
didn't.
watching
Well, wait, but
that tried to lift this man up. They've been ostracizing him ever since this he did this craziness on the field. I watched ESPN. I watched CBS Sports. Every black, even the old black football players, they were ostracizing instead of saying, well, it may be a mental issue. There could be something. And these are some of the guys that have been advocating about the head
Cruiser.
injuries in football. Been advocating about the head injuries in football. So why is it that when we have a black man like him, a young black man, the fall, we're ostracizing him as a black race? Where is
I
it?
don't know. I don't. Let me say this, and let me allow Houston and then Miss Cruiser to speak.
Yeah.
I don't understand why we're making this a race issue right now, and instead of an issue of a man. We can make it a black man issue of a black man needing help, and another man, regardless of his race, tried to help him, and even that did not help. So I'm not in the mindset to make it such a racially divisive situation. It's a man that needed help from another man, and he did what he had to do. He brought him into his home with his children and his wife to help him. That's how much he wanted to help him. And I get it that, yes, I just said two things can be true at the same time, in that he was also helping himself by helping him. But who cares? I mean, your grandmother could bring you in the house because you're gonna give her $500 a month for rent because she needs it. But bitch, you also need a place to stay. So it's like, what are we doing here? We're dissecting things. I would prefer us dissect this man and his mental status. Houston, what's going on, girl?
Hey, Sassy. Thanks for letting me up. William, it's good to see you. Good to hear the good news. And Miss Cruz, it's good to see you as well. So yeah, Sassy, this is a really great conversation. I gotta hop down. So thanks for making time for me. But real quick, I understand your frustration about race coming up with this, but I watch a lot of sports talk, and race is it's very difficult to not address. I recognize it not wanting to talk about it in a divisive manner. But when you look at the construction of a lot of sports teams who are presidents, who are general what are they called? General managers and who are head coaches versus like players. It is very much so like, I'm sure you've heard the terminology like $40 million slave and stuff like that. So it's funny you're talking about this because I was just looking at articles and Antonio did an interview and I think you hit upon it where he was like dismissing Tom Brady's openness. And he was like, he was only doing that for PR purposes. I have my own money. I have my own house. But I think what you're getting at, like this conversation can go all over the place, and it's a huge missed opportunity for us to not talk about the development of young Black boys, especially when they're athletes, because they get told very early on that you are a athlete, you are a football player, as opposed to a full person, and other aspects of their life are not tended to. So
that's what Mr. William was talking about. Mm-hmm.
Right. And I don't want to psychoanalyze Antonio Brown. I don't know him. But from watching his antics in I think he's like his mid-30s, it is clear that he was not told, this is not right. Don't do this. Like, you can engage in other things. It was clear to me that he was told by youth coaches, probably family members, friends, you're that guy. You're going to provide whatever for us as a community. So they probably enabled him. They probably like dismissed certain things that someone that wasn't as talented at a sport would have been, chastised or punished for. So I just wanted to add that. To your point, it's all about money. So I was like, another team's going to give him a chance because they're desperate. They need that star power. And he is still going to be arrogant. But I just feel like he's so far gone that who's going to put a hold on him? And with that, I'll stop. But yeah, thanks.
Thank you. What's up, Ms. Cruiser? Good morning.
Happy Sunday, everybody. Happy Sunday. HB, what is your name again? My memory.
Houston bread.
Houston bread. Hey, darling, how you doing? And Mr. William and Sassy, I'm enjoying the show. I'm late, but I'm enjoying it. And I understand your frustration with it, Sassy, going back to race. It's hard to get around. Everything kind of goes back to race. But I agree that Tom Brady wants to win his next Super Bowl before he retired. The man is 150 years old in football age. I love football, by the way. So he's won all those Super Bowls with the Patriots, and now he's won one with the Bucks, and now he's trying to win another one. That's his motivation. Now, Sassy, I understand what you're saying. It doesn't matter his motivation. He was willing to help the man and bring him into his own house, but it does matter the motivation, because if he was motivated to really help Antonio, then he would have said, you know what, football ain't for you now. There's been a lot of players who left the league for mental reasons. Football on the field where you hitting people and being hit is nowhere you need to be if you have some mental issues.
Well, how is he supposed to know that? Maybe he knows that now. Maybe at the time he thought, if I nurture this gentleman, if I do what I can, then I can help him. So
Tom Brady is 150 year old. Excuse me for cutting you off. Tom Brady is 150 years old football years. Tom Brady has been in the league long enough to know, see, and identify.
I think it's unfortunate that this is where you guys are taking this, but I guess this is where Black people inevitably want to take it. But I think it's unfortunate. I'm
not saying that as a Black woman.
Allow me to finish real quick. I apologize for because I know, and I allow you to talk, but I do apologize for that. But I think it's unfortunate because now we're talking about what Tom Brady's motives were. He brought somebody into his home. He's being demonized for that. You're a white man. This is all you care about. What about Antonio? Can we talk about Antonio? Then we want to talk about we're focusing on everything else but Antonio. Then we want to talk about Antonio in the sense that he wasn't nurtured as a child, or he wasn't this or that. I don't know that to be true. Maybe he has a mental disorder. Maybe he actually has something psychologically wrong with him. Maybe he needs to seek some real deep therapy. It's like we want to talk about everything else other than there's something fucking wrong with him.
Can I just get 45 seconds? 45 seconds.
You can get more than that, Miss. You can get more than
let
that.
me say this. I wasn't saying that as a Black woman. I was saying that as a woman who loves football. I don't know whether y'all know or not, but I'm obsessed with NFL and college football. I love football. And so I say that as a woman who loves football, and you see these young men, and as I'm watching football, like I'm about to watch in the next 25 minutes, and as a 51-year-old woman watching football, I often think this is someone's son that just got hit and tackled and fell on the ground, and he looks like he's unconscious. So I don't say that as necessarily as a Black woman. I say that as a woman who loves football. And so I'm not talking about Tom as this white guy taking in a Black guy. And you're exactly right. It was not something needs to happen in the NFL, and it probably need to go all the way back to Pop Warner when they first noticed that this child can play football. Is looking at them psychologically as they look at their athletic ability. And maybe it could have happened in childhood, or maybe it could have happened later on. It makes me think about every time somebody do something crazy in the NFL, it always takes me back to the worst thing that's ever happened with an NFL player. And that's what happened on my team, the Panthers, when that man went and shot that girl because she was pregnant and killed her. And now the girl's mama is raising his severely disabled child. So, when they get drafted, something needs to happen. The NFL needs to put something in play where they start dealing with them money wise, because now you have, a lot of these players, you get very few players who already have money when they come in. So you get a lot of players that all of a sudden they're suddenly millionaires.
They have that in place now.
Okay. Because I wasn't aware that they had, and dealing with
depending on your agent and your depending on your agency, I should say, but they have financial advisors.
There's agencies that's doing it, but it's not a requirement through the NFL.
It's not a requirement, but the blueprint is out there, right? So that goes back on you, your parents, whoever you have. Like, you can get with an agency, and your particular sports agency will say a financial advisor's in place, a therapist is in place, somebody to talk to. I don't know how many of you guys watch Billions, but it will be on the level of that type of therapist, that is used to working with these type of people, not a regular therapist, but like what we call a super therapist. So you can take the initiative to do that, but are you going to take the initiative to have somebody look after your money? Are you going to take the initiative to go seek some type of therapy when you know something is wrong? Because nobody can force you to do that. You haven't been committed to an asylum. So even the NFL, are they going to be able to? Is that legal to be able to force you into some type of therapy?
Sassy,
it can be a requirement of the NFL. Yes, it can. But I'm going to let y'all talk. Drop down.
If I may please interject, because this is my shiznit. I love talking about sports, especially professional sports.
Don't drop down, Miss Cruiser. That's your shit too. And y'all just didn't know it was my shit. Yeah, go ahead.
But really quickly, Sassy, you're hitting a lot of great points. And although I and Mr. William and Miss Cruiser were coming at this from a different angle, I think if we were to have like a long conversation, we would settle on some of the same things. What I was getting ready to type in the chat is that professional athletes, they oftentimes have very legitimate concerns about how they are treated, about how a lot of their livelihood is dismissed because they are rich. And I put in the chat that they're seen as tools for a team as opposed to human beings, right? So when that's all athletes. And also when you apply a racial lens, or also just considering a athlete's upbringing, considering what they do not have, and then suddenly gets like millions thrown onto them. To your point, and to Ms. Cruiser's point, the league does not have a responsibility as is to teach them about financial literacy, to do
as an employer. As the people on Wall Street, they need fucking psychological help too.
Right.
The people, there are judges, they need psychological help too for all the trauma that they go through on the bench. So it's not their responsibility to do that.
Exactly. And the thing about it is, and it's very unique to sports and athletes, and I would be curious why, but it's like, at what point do you allow a grown man to be a grown man? And at what point are you like, oh, wow, the system, the league, the fans, the people making all the money are exploiting this man and pushing him to his furthest limit until they dispose of him. And I think that is also a real conversation. Like, we are so happy to use these celebrities and these entertainers, and when they start showing out, as they would, as a lot of us would, if we had that amount of money and attention and criticism thrown at us, we're then like, okay, let's wipe our hands. But to your point, Sassy, this is a person. And I think what frustrates a lot of people that don't really understand the harshness of the money-making business of the sports industry is that they really do forget that they're people. Like, you can listen to sports commentators describe a grown human being as an animal. They'll be like, he's 6'5", huge hands, whatever. And it's just like, huh?
Right.
He's a beast.
He's a beast. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And anyways, I don't want to ramble on, but it is so frustrating. It is so frustrating to hear these very rich these very rich sports commentators, or even presidents. The president of the Dallas Cowboys, what's his name? Jerry Rice or something? What's his name? You know, Mr. C, Mr. Brothers?
No, not the president of the Cowboy. Oh, yes, I do. You're talking about the owner?
Yeah, what's his name? Jerry
Jones.
Jerry
Jones. Yeah,
he is so problematic. He is so problematic. He just straight up like has this energy like, I own you. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, I just
look at it. Look at it. Back when this young guy took that knee, what happened to him?
Colin.
Right, Colin Kaepernick. Where is he at now? What is he doing? Everybody forgot that he was doing something for a black cause.
Admirable.
Very admirable. But what was he doing? What happened? Even the president spoke out against him. And what color was the president? So that when you got to talk about race when it comes to black men out there busting their butts for these corporations, for these sports owners and stuff. You have to talk about it because they're treated wrong. They're treated so wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, we just don't really agree on that. I mean, it's like, I get it, but I'm just like, if we could just talk about him, not now. I'm not saying that this hasn't been a good discussion for me because I want it to be well-rounded, but I'm not sure that I totally agree that we're bringing race and we're bringing all this other stuff up when really is just something wrong with this one man that we need. If we could focus on getting this particular person help, and also this, it's like we can look at it outwardly and like, oh, it's Antonio Brown, he's wealthy, he's rich, but how many of our regular ordinary black brothers don't think they need help, but they need fucking help?
Sassy, really quick, and I'm gonna hop on after this one. I think the reason that people don't like talking about isolated incidences or individualized people is because whatever conversation becomes just about that person, when you widen, and I can't talk about the experiences as a black man because I'm not a black man, but when you widen it up, I feel like it then allows for conversation to tend to the needs of all black men and all black boys because we're looking at Antonio as an example. So that's what I think about when people try to take it beyond Antonio. And I'm about to drop down. Sassy, thanks for letting me.
Thank you so much, Boo. Thank you. I appreciate you coming up.
Thank you, Houston. Glad to hear you, babe. Well, Sassy, I'm gonna drop down too because you know what time it's getting to be.
Okay, we about to wrap it up in a minute. I know that's right. Okay, well, have a great rest of your Sunday, and thank you so much for joining.
All right. Hey, bye bye. Yeah, Langston.
Yeah, I mean, later on, bro.
Okay. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Hey, I wanted to briefly tell your audience. I had meant to say that before I jumped off earlier. I don't know if everyone, well, I know not everyone has had an opportunity yet, but I would recommend everyone go out to see The Tragedy of Macbeth. Now, keep in mind, this entire film is done in Elizabethan English. I mean, they stayed true to Shakespeare. So you got to keep that in mind going in. But I believe, and you heard it here first, Denzel will win Best Actor. Now, it was rough following the language. I got to be honest with you, but the visuals were great. The visuals.
But isn't that I'm sorry to interrupt, but isn't that going to fall under another category though?
No,
Not like,
it's best film. It's
oh,
gonna
it is.
it's gonna
Okay.
fall under
Okay. Well,
best
that's
film,
good.
best actor. Yeah, because I think first of all it's gonna win because the competition is gonna be light. I don't
Uh-huh.
recall any films last year that were just blew my mind.
On that level, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had my mind blown about a film since Moonlight, and that was great. But this film, it's not necessarily like you're not going to walk out of the theater thinking, "Oh wow, this blew me away."
Mm-hmm.
But you will walk away with a better understanding of Shakespeare, even though the language is kind of dense, and there's a lot going on there. You can follow it. You can follow along. You know if you kind of know the Macbeth story, then it will be familiar to you. If you're not familiar with it, you may have a little bit of issues, but the acting is like brilliant. It kept my attention for the full. I think it was like an hour and 50 minutes. It wasn't one of those long, drawn out films because then I would have a problem. But I do want everyone who hasn't seen it to go out and support that film because to have a black man,
Mm-hmm.
specifically with the passing of Sidney Poitier,
Exactly.
Sir Sidney Poitier.
Exactly.
The next in line is Denzel.
It is Denzel, absolutely.
And we need to give him his flowers while he's alive because
Yeah.
Denzel is that dude. He's that dude.
Stay consistent.
Yeah, stay consistent. And you know how we talked about like actors, our black actors who have stayed out of the mess, like
Mm-hmm.
Samuel Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
Denzel. There's no nonsense. We can't find any.
Ex-crackheads, Samuel, has stayed out the mess. So y'all asses should be able to stay out the mess. Yeah.
Yeah. They have. You don't see them stepping out on their wives, long-term marriages. It's just beautiful to see, and that's not celebrated enough in our community. Because Sidney Poitier, you never heard anything crazy about Sidney Poitier. Never.
That level of black actors, we could remember we were in the whole conversation. We were trying to name them all. They have really been able to do their dirt where it should be done in private. Because we're not silly enough to know. I mean, life is life. It has ebbs and flows and mistakes and in scandals. But they have been, they have been very successful at staying out of the shit, which should be commended because we talk about all the shit that black people do and they don't do this and that. But where is that? Where are their flowers for saying, wow, what great actors in just staying out of the shit?
Do you know who else was like that? Who just passed? Well, she didn't just pass away, but relatively recently. Cicely Tyson. Oh. We didn't know anything that was going on in her personal life.
That's like Angela Bassett.
Yeah, Angela has been low key. She married that guy, that actor. What's his name?
I always forget his name. He's one of those ones that we know, but we don't know their name.
Good character actor. Good character actor. Yeah. Yeah, I forget his name. I want to always say Don Cheadle.
Because he reminds you of, but it's definitely not Don. But yeah. They just stayed out of the mess.
Speaking of couples, I don't know if you told your
his name is Courtney B. Vance.
Courtney B.
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Lenore.
Wasn't he in? Hi, V. Lenore. Hey, V. Lenore, click the link. I got to ask you something.
Hey, no, you're not.
What? No. Shh.
No, shush. Go ahead.
No. I have to ask you something. But look, Courtney B. Vance, great character actor. But we're talking about couples, and I don't know if you shared with the audience about our new favorite couple, which is Stefan and Betty Boop. They surpassed Joke and Chucky. They moved to number 2 as our favorite internet couple.
Who's our number 1?
What?
Who's our number 1?
Well, you know who our number 1 is. I just said they moved to number 1.
Oh, I thought you said they moved to number 1.
No.
I mean number 2.
Betty Boop. Hold on, listen. Betty Boop and Stefan have moved to number 1 on our list. Now, falling back to number 2 because obviously they've had some type of virtual breakup, a lot of confusion lately, is Chucky and Ajoki, but hopefully they can get things back on track. Not just for the sake of the relationship. I think they work best together as a team. So even if they're not romantically linked, which I'm not sure what type of romance was really involved other than phone sex, I think together they work great. And Chucky solo, oh no, Chucky, you my guy. But you're a little dry. You're a little dry, buddy. And Ajoki, she can hold her own, but I think she needs to riff off of Chucky. But I still like those two. They just had to go to the back burner because Stefan, and we talked about this, and I like Stefan, but the one problem I have with Stefan is that when he wanted to square up, or as the kids say, shoot the fair one with Chucky, he goes up to Chucky's place of residence or where he's laying his head, and he knocks on the door of Chucky's aunt. And the woman opens up the door, and Stefan says he immediately was hit with the stench of excrement, which I don't know if that's true or he's adding a little sauce to the story. But he left because the aunt said, hey, Chucky's asleep right now. So he comes back another time, which to me was very reckless, even the first time, because now you've given the person you want to fight an opportunity to prepare for you. They're ready for you. Luckily, Chucky's not really about that life. He's more of what you call a functional addict. So he's not really about fighting. He's more about scamming and, getting his drugs. He's a mellow guy. So he just disappears. He bails when Stefan returns. But all this time, Stefan has Betty, his wife, in the car. Now,
let's talk. Okay, hold on. Because this is where I want to pick up the story. Hey, Brianna, you a mess. Talking about ain't nothing wrong with phone sex, girl. Phone sex and 17 G's, okay? But okay, that's where
where did Chucky get that 17 G's from? Is he scamming? Is he credit card scamming?
I don't know, but remember, listen, see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. So, the reason why we started talking about Betty, in our real lives, talking about Betty Boop and Stefan, which those of you who don't know, Betty Boop is a gamer in the gaming community / in the Black community, and her husband, they come live occasionally in the Black community and discuss, I guess, various topics or whatever. They caught our eye. Babe, I gotta mute you because are you moving around?
Yeah, how'd you know?
I can hear it.
Mute me.
And they came to us for us to be interested because we are most interested in online couples. We're like, what? Because we're so private, we would never be that outwardly open about some of the stuff that they are outwardly open about. So we watch it as a documentary. So it's not really again, I'm not interested in talking about the Black sector. We don't watch it as in we watch everything that goes on in the Black sector. We watch it more so a peek into a real life couple's relationship and how we would handle such things. So what Langston is describing to you is Betty Boop and her husband go knock on Chucky's door because they have an issue with him, and it's played out, on YouTube. So our mouths were dropped. I mean, it was just, and that's where we started talking about it. Again, I'm not interested in talking about these people because that only brings mess, right? And it's so interesting. You can't really talk about the people in very much specifics because then they're like, oh, you're talking about me and you're giving an opinion, which is rightfully so because one opinion begets another opinion. But the bottom line was that what is going on in regards to you and your wife knocking on somebody's door? Aren't you guys isn't a man afraid to, not afraid, but more responsible than that to bring his wife to somebody's door to fight, and it was just wild. It was just wild. Go ahead, babe. You can unmute. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, thank you for unmuting me.
You can
I love your storytelling, boy. You make things so clear. Me, I'm all over the place. Thank you for clearing that up. But no, I would say if I have an issue with someone online, obviously I'm not going to, I don't care what someone does. I'm not going to physically show up anywhere because you never know. In this day and age, somebody could be waiting for you, and just wipe your nose real quick. It happens daily.
Remember we were talking about where did that happen? I forgot what city it happened, but the lady, she was from Florida, and she
Bad Vibes, which is a guy from the black sector,
or Manosphere or black.
I don't know. All of them. I love them all.
Manosphere, but go ahead.
Yeah, but anyway, he's a cutter. A cutter on the streets is someone who good with knife play, specifically in prisons and in jails. And so I guess he was known as a cutter in the Rikers Island system. But anyway, his wife is the one who shot that woman in the head in New York, who was from Florida, because she was, I guess she had said some unkind words to Bad Vibes' wife, and she was
online,
and she was messing around with Bad Vibes in some way. So she caught up. I guess she had been tailing the woman from Florida. Mm-hmm. And when the woman from Florida was walking on the New York street, Bad Vibes' wife stopped the car in traffic, got out casually, walked up, and peeled her cap back, and got back into her car and drove off.
Peeled the cap back and shot her in the head.
Yeah,
you guys, shot her in the head from
And this is over internet stuff in Chicago. Daily, these young men are saying shit on Twitter, on YouTube, and people are knocking on doors, getting their doors knocked in, getting caught up in traffic. Same thing in Brooklyn. Same thing in Harlem. It happens daily.
She killed her, Brianna. Yeah, she killed her. Shot her ass in the head, point blank. Like he said, let me slow it down. Stopped, trailed the lady, caught up with her, stopped her car in fucking traffic. You understand what I'm saying? What he means is she stopped her car while on the street while traffic is going. Like, oh no, bitch, park. Ran up to her and shot her ass in the head, point blank range. Yes, killed her.
So I'm saying this to say you never know what the person you're beefing with is capable of.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know. And you have to be careful. And that's why when people give out these addresses and stuff, or people are following them, or I know who was the woman who stalked Brianna, Lady P. I mean, you have to be very careful because you never know the mind state of these people who are you have issues with. And
the other thing is that this online stuff is just getting so radical. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It has no demographic, no age, no color on it. It's just people are just wilding out. You know what I mean? But I guess it's still this theory that nobody thinks it's going to be them.
Yeah, well, I've seen this. I go back to AOL, in the 90s, then going to Pal Talk. The troll game is well known. But I've seen like how just normal beefs have escalated into serious issues, and it has gotten progressively worse. Especially, I mean, the whole doxing and the whole swatting thing is becoming a big thing with Black YouTubers. But this has been going on since the 90s. But now that it's in our sector, we have to be very careful because you got to understand, trolls will incite things to happen. And then they will put people in positions where they have to respond to things. And certain people, they can't reason properly. And they will let trolls get them into situations that they can't get out of, and that will have a detrimental effect on their lives. And you have to be go ahead.
No, I was going to say, remember, this is almost verbatim what we were talking about. Villanora says content creators have to be more accountable for their messaging as well, because these subscribers may take it upon themselves to act on their behalf. Remember, we had a whole conversation about that. Like, it's just like the trickle down effect. Like, you may be just trolling, or you may not be serious, but then what about one of your subscribers who is Looney Tunes? You know what I mean?
Right.
And they take it upon themselves to do your bidding because they're so invested.
Right. Real quick before I go, I wanted to. The reason why I'd asked V. Lenore, I know you thought I was going to talk about it.
Well, and so did she.
Yeah. No, I wasn't. Actually, what's been happening in this sector, we've talked about it before, is I know Dovey has talked about it, but I don't know if she's that serious about it. I know Houston Bread and some others have talked about it. But we're matching women with quality men in this sector. And, because now we've merged the sector. So now there's hetero men, even though a lot of the black sector men are trash. But, there's some, they're not all trash. You got Goosey and some other people who are legit. Yeah, Goosebumps.
He's 20-something years old. I mean, are you trolling or what? I mean,
no. He's 25 years old. There are women. You're saying that the only women here are like old women?
I don't call a 40-year-old woman old woman, but I don't think a 40-year-old woman wants a 25-year-old man.
Well, not all. They're young. Look, listen. There are young women here. How old is Billie Jean?
I don't know. I don't think Billie Jean is interested in being matched up.
Hold on, because V. Lenore has made it clear. She said it in your chat, if you recall. Hey, do you know any available men? And women have said that in Dovey's chat. And Dovey has talked about trying to get some type of speed dating. And I know HB has talked about it. And I think she's a little bit more serious about it than Dovey is. But there is that need. And I wanted to talk about it because I think someone raised the question before is, what are the qualities that these men, these potential men, if you did have a speed dating, what would you be looking for? What would these men have to have? And then I wanted to have that conversation. And then also, women have to also ask themselves a question. Are they even ready to start dating? Because a lot of women in this sector haven't dated in years for whatever reason. And I'm not knocking it because a lot of them correctly see these men are trash and they rather not deal with them at all. But I'm just curious. I'd like to have that conversation about what women are looking for, and do women think they're ready to start dating men as well? Because if you're not ready, then the relationship, if one does emerge, it's not going to last.
Yeah, so but that's a very deep question that you're not, you know what I mean? Like, they would have to ponder on that. They would have to really, really think about it. But I've heard Brianna say this several times.
Bree says that a lot.
I've heard Brianna say this several times. I wouldn't want to date anybody on YouTube. I think it's interesting that she says that because I think she's thinking about just the sector that she's in.
Right.
And so I get that. I understand that. And when we talk about how we met, we're not going to be suggesting that you guys find anybody in that sector either. That doesn't even make any sense to us, right? But in regards to finding people online,
right,
you have to kind of have your mind open to that, because that is where it is right now. People aren't meeting at the grocery store or at the gas station, and maybe they are, but you understand what I'm saying. It's not an absolute, but majority of people are meeting online. So, but
let's freeze on that for a minute, because have black women ever met a man in the produce section? That seems to be more like a meet cute for white people. But have black women met any men in the produce section.
I'm sure that I don't understand why you guys do that. I mean, if that's weird to me, but nothing is singular to any demographic. So yes, I'm sure there's been.
I don't know any people who
Okay,
met in the
well, you
produce.
don't
Black
know any and none has happened is two different things. But you posed the question, so yes, I'm
Right.
sure that some people
Do you know any?
I do know women that have met men at the grocery store, in the gas station, and just being out and about. Of course, that's like pretty normal.
I don't know about the gas station now. That may be doing too much, but
it's not anything different than anywhere else. At work, at the gas station, at the grocery store, people meet people wherever they meet people. So, but what I'm suggesting is that because exactly, HB, the pandemic is limiting a lot of potential, as well as the age thing. So once you get to a certain age, you're not going out as much. You're not, and even if you are, you're grouped up, or you even may be on a date, but that might not be your forever boo. So it just depends. You know what I mean? But as far as this idea that these people have about speed dating, I was most interested in HB's because she said that she knew a sector where to go actually find heterosexual men, which is where you have to start. And it will happen organically, but it's not going to happen in the sector that we're in, either of the sectors that we're talking about, because that is not that type of sector. Hold on, I saw a comment from Dear Self. What's going on, girl? Oh yes, and you know it, but you don't want him, which is fair. He isn't. I don't know what that means. Okay, thanks for dropping down, Dear Self. Yeah, I have a girlfriend that got married to. This is funny. I have a very good girlfriend, Langston, that we know. Okay, lives in a DMV. Okay,
not in traffic, Brianna.
That met her husband from a minor car accident. He bumped into her, literally. And this is her husband. So things happen. I mean, come on, I'm not into all that. So this, that, and the other. But and then Robin says, I don't trust it. But what will you trust? Will you just, for what Langston is saying, without the trolling, because I'm not in the mood for that, quite honestly. But minus the trolling, what he's saying is, what are you gonna do then? Are you just gonna be forever single? I mean, what don't you trust? Because you can meet a man wherever. Are you going to trust him? That's what he's saying about, are you ready to date? And not to single out Robin, but a lot of you guys could have been your statement. Are you actually ready to date? Are you going to trust anybody? And so it starts there first, which is something you have to say to yourself. Then it starts to, well, where do I find these available men? Which is what HB is talking about. And then what Ms. Dovey is talking about is just getting people in a room that you don't know anything about them. And, shout out to Ms. Dovey. She meant well. But for me, being more analytical, that doesn't work that way. Again, if you hear me and Langston's story, it wasn't that. I mean, I fell in love with his voice. Somebody said that. I thought that was preposterous.
No, wait a minute. It's not that preposterous. You hear this voice?
I know that's right, baby. You better tell
me.
Okay.
Hello. What's going on?
Oh, don't do it. But yeah, and I've heard that a lot of women did fall for you for your voice, and they're just fucking weirdos.
Who are these women?
You don't even want me to see what I'm saying? See how you be doing?
No. Yeah, don't do
I know you don't want me to. See? What if I had started? See what I'm saying? See how you be playing? But they had crushes on him, unbeknownst to him, or beknownst to him, or announced to him. But because of a voice, they knew nothing about him. That's fine. That's not proper. That's crazy. That gets you set up for the motherfucking okie doke. So we are not going to be up here being proponents of a lot of you people, especially the ones who have not been in the dating scene for a while. People. I know you better. I know you're rubbing off on me.
You remember how I?
Okay. Thank you.
That fake preacher.
Yeah. Okay. See what I'm saying?
Okay,
I don't understand.
Sorry.
Is it just you can't help yourself?
Sorry.
You're not sorry either.
No, I'm not.
I know you're not. Shit. Damn, you people just can't. You people just cannot do without the shits. Damn it. Okay. But yeah, so I will have to talk about that because no, voice has nothing to do with it, or it shouldn't, Mr. Carruthers. It shouldn't. A lot of women probably made a lot of mistakes with you because of your voice. That's crazy to me. So is. This is crazy. Like a voice?
Ooh,
I was just happy that the voice was real. You know what I'm saying? Let's start there. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I start talking to him, I'm like, okay, is this voice real? Yeah, it's real. You know what I'm saying? Then we can move on from there. You know, what type of dude is this really?
Speaking of voices, you know what I hate? You know what I hate, and you know where I'm going with this.
No, I don't.
People continuously.
Oh, see,
think
no.
Okay. Yeah, I'll leave it alone.
Care.
I'll leave it alone.
Crazy. No,
I'll leave it alone.
I don't care. You're gonna have to come. You're gonna have to write this shit down and come up on a pop-up, I guess. And I don't even really want no parts of that. But you're my boyfriend. I don't have a fucking choice. Like, I don't care.
But you like the $275 I gave you.
You ain't give me no goddamn $275.
Go along with this.
I'm not going along with this fake ass shit. Let me request this shit.
Man, oh man.
You ain't give me shit. Tell like you didn't pay me.
You gonna put me on blast like that?
I know, right? With your lying ass, how you get out? I don't know. They go, run me my money, okay?
No, I know it's getting close to the 2-hour mark, and I know you have to wind down. But the other thing I wanted to discuss with you is the Omarion variant. You know, it is scary how many people are getting it. Like all over on my all of my different social media, friends are saying, "Oh, I've got COVID. My whole family has COVID." I mean, it's like everybody, and this is the mild version. This is like just give you the flu and stuff if you've been vaccinated before and boosted. But just think about these variants. They got a new one coming out called I Hate You, IHU, and that has like a whole bunch of variants attached to it alone. But these next variants aren't going to be as mild as the Omarion. It's funny how a variant that's real soft and mild is nicknamed Omarion. I find that funny.
Omicron or something. You're saying it wrong. You're saying it my way.
No.
Oh, you know what you're saying?
It intentionally.
Okay. Come on. You never want to say something wrong. So I'm like, wait a minute. He's saying my way.
No. But my concern is that these new variants aren't going to be as mild. And if you can see how transmissible the Omarion is, can you imagine a variant that is deadlier, that is more severe, that is just as easily transmissible? Because I'm telling you right now, almost everybody I've talked to either has had COVID recently or knows somebody who has it, somebody close to them who has it. It is scary.
It's crazy. I mean, what did we say? Well, you said, and I think I agreed, is this just going to be, a way of life?
Yeah. And we have to resign ourselves to the fact that a lot of jobs are going to be remote and obviously some jobs you're just going to have to go in. There's no way around it. But we're looking, because these variants are only going to get more aggressive, only get more transmissible. They're only going to get more deadly. They're going to be more vaccine resistant. So what's going to happen is a lot of jobs, which basically a lot of middle class jobs, upper middle class, are going to be remote. And unfortunately, a lot of customer facing positions, a lot of lower level jobs they're going to require people come in and deal with it.
They don't have a choice.
This is almost like a modern day Holocaust, which is what we're looking at coming up. So I don't want to scare anybody, but please be mindful of getting vaccinated. Don't listen to the hype about, people are dying from the vaccine and stuff like that. Follow the science. Let the science lead you. And don't listen to misinformation on the internet. And that's another thing we got to talk about, because we know for a fact how easy it is for misinformation to spread quickly through social media. And sometimes it's done intentionally, and sometimes it's just done from poor listening. People didn't listen all the way through. But misinformation is one of the biggest threats to America
in the last decade.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. I want you to finish that,
ahead.
but I don't want you to drop out. No, please finish that thought, but I just didn't want you to drop off because I want to run something.
No. Go ahead.
Well, is that the end of the thought? You can't, because you know why you're doing this, because you can't wait to hear what I'm going to say. This is like you and our real conversations. Like, you can finish that thought.
No. I want to hear what you have to say.
See what I'm saying? But to end that conversation, you guys, just be careful, be mindful. It's everybody's choice, but we're just going to keep bringing it to you every week that, regardless if it's scary to you, if it's not scary, I'm sure to the people who are getting sick or hospitalized, it's very scary. I heard that Babyface was in the hospital as well. So shout out to Babyface.
No, we can't lose Babyface. We can't
at
lose
all.
Babyface.
I know, but I did hear.
Why can't Cisco get COVID?
Hey,
you know what I'm saying?
Hey,
not Babyface. You look.
I almost dropped you off
remix
this
for
bitch.
Whip Appeal. Rock Bottom.
You are so stupid. Why would you wish that shit on Cisco?
I know. I'm just saying. I mean, why not take some of our lesser artists? Not Baby. No, Baby.
You are so mean. And
that's my guy.
You are so mean. Not Babyface, okay? But check this out. Hold on.
I was about to bail, but go ahead.
I know, because you're always about to bail. What do you think about? Because your homie BL was in the house, Dear Self is in the house, V Lenora. I don't know.
And Dear Self will never click our link. She'll sit back. She'll click Brianna's link. She'll click Pizarro's link and run that mouth of hers, but she will not click our link. What are you trying to say, Dear Self? What are you communicating to us?
I understand what she's communicating, but it's okay. It's okay for me.
No, she's too good. She's too good.
She's too good for us. Is that what she's communicating?
That's what she's communicating. Yeah, she's too good.
Dear Self, why are you communicating that?
East Coast folks, they got all of this. They got all this swag and bluster,
and don't want to share it. And don't want to share it.
That's right. I get it. We see you the long.
We see you, Dear Self. But what do you think about doing a show? Maybe because see, you troll.
I love the way Sassy always talks about future shows and irregular shows. We're not going to talk about it right now, but we'll talk about it in the future show.
Well, because I have to line the people up. You know what I'm saying? I have to get there. Yeah, I have to get there. Not like that, silly.
I'm gonna line them up too, but
you gonna definitely line them up, which is probably why I won't let your ass on the stage, because I ain't got time to like seriously helping the other people that want to do get to the people together or whatever, but do like a collaboration, but we're like the first stop where we're like analyzing the behaviors, pulling out the information that needs to be pulled out so that they're ready to be open to some type of dating situation.
Oh, you got a whole journey. Yeah, I like that.
It has to. You can't start from the let's meet. That doesn't. You know what? I told you what happened on Facebook with the 50% women and the 50% men. The men would sit back, watch how the woman moved. You know what I mean? And then they, like you did me.
Right. Well, you have to. Well, I'm talking about a man who's not just looking to
fuck. Excuse me, have sex.
Watch your language.
I know, watch my language. My gosh, I'm sorry. It's Sunday too.
But if a man is just looking for relations, then that's
one thing.
Yeah,
right.
That's one.
But if he's actually like trying to woo you, like you did me, you know what I mean?
Yeah. We're coming up close on the anniversary of when I went on Bree's panel.
No.
And I played that song for Bryson Tiller.
How much money did you give Brianna to play that? I forgot.
I don't know. I don't remember.
I just wonder if it was like 15.
Why is that important?
Well, it is important. Yeah, I wonder if it was like $15 or was it like $50? Like, I was wondering like how big the flex was. I mean, it was already a big flex.
But hold on, listen to this. It fell on deaf ears when I was in Brianna's chat because they were like, "Look, Sassy didn't even come into Brie like that." They
At
didn't
the
know
time,
you
I
did.
wasn't even coming into her, dropping down in her chat. But they didn't know I watched her, but I was not dropping down. Yeah.
Right. So they were like, I don't know why, And then I remember it was Nikki said, "Oh, that's Langston being Langston. He's just trolling." And because they didn't understand the vision, because I knew it was going to get back to you.
So what he's saying, you guys, is that Brianna did a Valentine's Day live last year. Okay, that's why he's saying we're coming up on the anniversary. She did a Valentine's Day last year, and you could cash app her if you wanted a song played.
Not cash app though.
I'm finished. Try to be patient. Brianna, if you cash apped her, she would
super chat.
If you cash apped her, she would play a particular song. So Langston super chatted her with the message, "Play this song. This is for Sassy." He was correct. I was not watching the chat at the time at all, but it did get back to me with the whole clip, like a whole lot, and so I could see the clip. And my girls in the back chat was like, "Bitch, what's going on?" And I was like, "I don't know." And so that was the beginning of me, like, for real. Let me mute him because I don't know what he's doing, because he don't never have.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm walking away.
But that was the beginning of me, like, seriously noticing Langston and knowing that, oh, he's interested in me. So that's the beginning, but we'll tell you guys that whole story. But so when we say things like, no, we're not advocating for everybody to find their love on the internet, or definitely not in a particular sector. It just happened, but it definitely didn't happen like, oh, I think you and Langston would be good together. That doesn't happen like that, I don't think, at this age. He watched me, saw how I moved, and came after,
And she didn't even trust me in the beginning. And, I didn't really trust her that much.
I was about to say, what are you talking about?
Yeah, but she wasn't that talkative because she was feeling me out. And some of the things I was saying was just, to her, was like just deal breakers at the time. And I could tell one of the things, can I share this, or is too much?
I think it's okay. I think it's okay. I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So one of the things I had told her in our initial calls was that I had never traveled internationally. And you should have heard the reaction. She said, "What?" I said, "I've never traveled."
It was over for me that day.
I said, "I don't have a passport." She was like, it was crickets, and she was like, "That's interesting." And at this time, talking to her was like pulling teeth, right? She wasn't really that communicative. It was just like I was there auditioning, and she was like Simon Cowell. She was just observing.
Is that how you felt?
And I felt like I was just flopping, because I was like, she was like, interesting. And talking about it now, she told me that was almost a deal breaker for her. And I'm like, why would you get hung up on something that small? Because I haven't traveled internationally. I'm afraid of, flying overseas. Just my own eccentricity.
Eccentricity and hang up, because it said so much stuff from me. Exactly, Allie. That's the main thing. That sucks, coming from another former flight attendant. Can you imagine? I was like, wait, what? I hear you are talking to an ex-international flight attendant. And I was like,
and then she thought I was a fraud. She said, "Well, wait a minute, you have flexing on all of this, and you haven't even traveled." So then she was like, "Oh, this is another one of these internet frauds."
That's what you guys. That was more so of the deal breaker was, of course, the international thing was like weird for me, because I don't know. I've never dated a guy that didn't travel internationally. And then number two, it was, are you a fraud? Because how can you be all that you say you are? And if you guys knew everything that he was, It does not make any sense at all. Because, and I
Well,
know
wait a minute though. Hold on now, because
there you go, trying to defend this ridiculous
no,
thing.
I'm not trying to
I
defend it.
hope
I'm
they
going
shame
like to
you for
say
taking me to Paris.
I'm also I'm also the same guy when we went shopping for food the first time. I complained about you just throwing. Look, let me give the backstory on this because this was crazy. Can I discuss this or no?
I guess you can. You're starting to.
Oh, okay. So we first went grocery shopping together. It was an experience. She goes in, starts grabbing stuff like the most expensive olive oil. She's not even looking at prices. And now, me, I'm very frugal in regards to certain things. That's just who I am. I'm not always, I'll do what is the Walmart generic brand and stuff like that. Choice, those
all
type
that cheap
of
shit. Yeah.
yeah. That's me. So she goes into the aisles and she's just grabbing like the most expensive olive oil, the big bottles of like Pompeii or something, $18 bottles of olive oil.
Lying. Now don't start adding to it. Just
throwing stuff in the cart.
get a big bottle of olive oil. Just stop it.
Just
Go ahead,
throwing stuff in the
and I'm
cart.
not throwing stuff in the cart. I'm a woman of a particular age. I know what I want. This isn't my first time at the grocery store.
But why can't we get the generic?
You don't get generic stuff. You don't know how to cook. That's number 1, 2, and 3. Okay. Okay. Number 4 is you don't get generic garlic powder. It's gonna taste like water. That doesn't make sense. You get what is going to make the food taste a certain way. And what did that food taste like? Let's skip to the good part.
Oh, you put your foot in it. You put your foot in it. It showed me like that one time you made those lamb chops. I mean, or you remember the time where you made those, what was it, the pork chops and it was something else.
That shit.
And then you went to sleep and I ended up like downstairs just grubbing, and it was the best food I've had in forever. So the one thing
funny. I woke up. Hold on, don't try to get past because you already know what I'm about to say, y'all. So I cook all this stuff he wanted. You know what I'm saying? So I cook all the stuff that he wanted. It's on a Sunday. It's in the middle of the day.
And to me, what I wanted, she thought it was hood. She was like, "What?"
It was hood.
I wanted like turkey tails, stuff like that, and she just thought that was so odd, which is weird.
Was so hood. He was typecasting me, but it's okay. But I cooked everything he wanted. We had to go to the hood grocery store that morning and all that stuff to find all this stuff that he wanted. Anyway, I cooked. We were drinking. He's on his vape pen. We chilling, y'all, by like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock. Sassy is tipsy. Let me go take my nap. You know what I mean? And I take a nap and I wake up some hours later. I leave him with the documentary. Remember, it was
QAnon.
QAnon at the time was like, you have to watch this documentary. And it's a series. So I think it's like 6 parts or something.
And I have been putting it off. You have been recommending that to me for weeks. And I was like, yeah, I'll get around to it. But I had to get around to it.
Yeah. He was like, I'm not watching this bullshit about politics. I'm like, this is a good one. So I leave him with the QAnon. The food is there, but he's already eaten. You know what I'm saying? He's already eaten. I wake up, y'all. It's like enough. And it's so funny because he's talking about the other time at the grocery store, but this time at the grocery store, he's wanting to get double everything. It was funny. Like, it's way too much food for the 2 of us. So I thought, you know what I mean? So anyway, I cook it all anyway, because because the next day we're going to go out to eat. It doesn't make sense for me, anyway. So I cook it all. I wake up to this Negro. He's finished all 6 parts of the documentary. I look at the platter. It's a platter because, I'm serving the food as, you know what I'm saying, like I should be, you know what I'm saying? Because at this point, he's very generous and flying out or flying me out or doing stuff. So now I'm in full girlfriend mode. I'm putting the food on platters and putting in their proper containers. I fucking wake up, y'all, to this Negro just cheesing, just how like he is just such at peace. I go look at the platter. The fucking pork chop bones are in the platter. He thought enough to leave me one more pork chop because I eat half food. I eat half of my food early and the other half I'm gonna, so it's basically like lunch and dinner, right? So I don't eat a lot of food at one time. So he leaves me one lonely pork chop with like 10 bones or some shit in the platter. And I was like, look at this nigga. And he's just like, hey, how you doing? Good evening. I'm glad you're up. It was just like it was so funny. And so to myself, I was like, don't ever tell me. And this is when we start having we always have had real conversations since day one, but this is when we start having real conversations about what my expertise is and what your expertise is. And your expertise is not the
She wants me out the kitchen. She wants me out the kitchen.
Go sit down. Go sit down. I'm good. I know you're buying the food. I don't care. I'm not buying Walmart. I'm not even going to Walmart, number 1, 2, and 3. Okay. But I'm definitely not buying store-bought brand anything unless, let me not say anything, because sometimes you'll have outliers, but 95% of the stuff, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing that. I'm buying what I know is going to make my food taste good. And I'm not doing it to cape either. I'm doing it because I am an expert cooker and I know what I need to make my stuff, taste good.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, turkey tails. They
don't know, but they don't know about that. Some of them don't know about it.
They probably think we're too bougie to eat turkey tails and all that stuff. But he'll eat a poke bowl one day and turkey tails, the next. But so it's what I'm saying, y'all. Yeah, we're very
Hey, I never knew turkey tails. For the longest time, I would eat turkey tails. I'd eat like 3 or 4 at a time. And then a friend told me, hey, just because it's turkey, that is unhealthy because there's so much fat. Mm-hmm. And I was like, wow. And I'm into like a year of eating turkey tails like I'm crazy, 4 at a time.
Thinking and I'm like, that it's healthy because it says turkey.
Yeah, I didn't know. I heard it was banned in New Zealand for a while because of
because it's so fat.
Yeah, so fattening. It's causing a lot of.
Tastes good, but But the way you were eating it, remember we ran into one of your friends and they were like, "I've never just eaten turkey tails. I use it to season my food." So if you guys can think of it, it's kind of like a smoked ham hock. Like some people eat ham hocks, I don't like that. It's just to season my food. But he, somewhere along his journey and of the life, somebody cooked some turkey tails, and so he just always has them on his mind. Not
turkey
always.
Tails and hot water cornbread.
Whew. That is not a meal, babe. And the shit you be putting together. Lord. It's just So we'll have to talk to you guys about that because it was it was some of this stuff was like really, really interesting. And we would have gone through it regardless if we had met in the same, at a gas station or if we met online. I mean, the only thing that we went through that we probably would not have gone through is the initial month or 2 of not knowing if we should trust each other with our personal information.
Ooh.
That was yeah.
And having to talk through Discord.
We had to talk. We talked through Discord for so long, and then he's like, I think
I didn't know if I didn't know if you were part of some group trying to get my info, and
I didn't know if your trolling ass was a part of a group trying to get my info. We didn't know.
Oh yeah, I would like to talk about that.
We have to talk about that. And remember, I'm pulling up. You sent a card for me. You were at. He sends a card for me the first time we meet. And I'm literally saying, I'm in the valet. What is the number? What's the apartment number? Or where are you? And he's like, I'll meet you at the elevator. I'm like, nigga, you gotta give me the number.
Now I gotta see. I gotta make sure everything goes. You might get him. I don't know. I don't know who's coming up there with you, what you may look like in person. No, we meeting at the elevator.
And tell him when you saw me though. Tell him when you saw me.
I was all over you too, man, which isn't usually my approach, obviously, but we had talked enough at that time. But usually the first time meeting somebody, I would not have been like that hands-on, so to speak.
Let's say it was not sexual, but it was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that you are the person that you said you are. Like, it was relief. It was like pure relief for him. It was so.
Let me explain why that was, because I never saw her on camera first. I only saw like these 3 pictures. She only gave me, and I would always complain. I was like, can I get another picture? Because, people can like send you stuff that's not them, or it could be 30 years old, or, just all types of stuff. So I was like a little bit nervous, had a little bit of trepidation about it.
A lot of bit nervous.
Yeah, but it all turned out well. And
turned out good. And I would not. Well, I would not FaceTime him.
Right.
Yeah, we exchanged photos. Yeah, Villanor, that's what he's saying. We exchanged photos, but
she only gave me 3.
I only gave him 3. I gave him a body shot, a close up,
and one was you had your back to the camera,
and one was my back to the camera, but it was a full body.
Yeah, but
it doesn't matter. I gave him 3 photos. That was it. It was like 3 different, and they were all like a year or so old, but it was like, no, I was not going to FaceTime with him because, again, y'all, the way we met, who are you? Like, I don't know you like that.
Who sent you?
Yeah, who sent you? So that's what we're saying. Like, if we really get into the details, this was not, I fell in love with him because of his voice. No, this nigga had to go through some hoops, honey. And it wasn't like, that's not my normal flow. He's more of the logical, straight-laced, very stern type. I'm more of a free spirit. However, I wasn't about to be, in a situation where I was going to get caught up. And again, I'm hearing from my family. I'm hearing from, my people in my back chat.
What the back chat thing? Anybody think I was a stalker?
They were so respectful, but they weren't too happy with it. They weren't too happy with it, but I have to say
I can't blame them. I can't blame them based on the information they had.
Yeah,
I can't blame them.
They were kind of like, damn, Sassy, we thought you was smarter than this. That's kind of how they were doing me, but they were so respectful. They were like, fuck, I don't know. I think this bitch getting herself in some shit, but it's nothing we can do. It's nothing we can do. Villanor, no, that's a stock photo, but I did put up a picture of me briefly for like a week. And luckily, God has so much favor for me. It's like, I think those videos are down. I'm pretty sure they're down. But I put up the video under the real picture of me under the guise that I was showing ODS because he said something about this girl's breast. And I said, oh no, this girl could be my cousin. Like, that's the reason why I picked the picture. And so then I showed a picture of myself and they were like, oh, that's a stock photo too. And I was like, no, bitches, that's me. So there are some people that remember what I look like.
Yeah, they were hoping that they had another Amaya situation, but you made it clear to everyone that picture you have currently is like a stock, just some stock photo.
Yeah. And my other picture, I could most definitely be that girl's cousin. So in real life, but he was worried about catfishing and like he said, are these pictures 20 years old? Have you put on 50 pounds And then, okay, we're going to go. But let me just tell him this part, because this was the weirdest thing. So he is on impress mode for the first meeting. He is on straight impress mode. The shit that he wanted to do would have been like something off of a movie, okay? And he literally wanted to do it, like for real. But logistically, it just wasn't going to work out. Let me meet him. I don't know what the hell. This is weird. Okay. So so that stuff didn't work out. But he's like, okay, well, it didn't matter, AJ, if they saw it or not, because that was the only picture of that. You know what I'm saying? I took a picture just for that purpose. So it was never anywhere else. You understand what I'm saying? So I don't know how they would have been able to do that. But okay, so he is like on impress mode. So he wants to do all this other stuff. Logistically, it doesn't work out. But now he's already endeared me to himself, to him, because I'm like, dang, this is crazy. But so we're going to go to a 5-star restaurant. Can I say the name? Because aren't there several of them?
Yeah. There's a few.
So we go to Nobu for our first date. And so when he tells me that I'm not going to dress up, I'm not wearing a suit jacket, I'm not doing anything. This is fucking Nobu, okay? I have never gone to Nobu without being like super duper fly sassy. And he's like, no. We're just gonna chill. Like, we're just gonna be the ballers that we are. And I'm just gonna wear like jogging pants. And I just want you to wear, what did you tell me to wear?
I thought I just told you to wear like some leggings and
yoga outfit. Wear one of your yoga outfits. I said, to where? To Nobu? And then we're going to this speakeasy afterwards. It's a whole thing. You know what I'm saying? The whole date was really, really cool. And I'm like, I am not showing up at a 5-star restaurant in yoga gear. You know? He's like, no, that's what I want.
And don't forget about the time too. You were very skeptical about the time I had picked for dinner as well.
Yeah, the time was crazy because it's because he didn't realize that this particular city, like the restaurants were booked up like in advance. So it was either we go at 5:45 or 9:45. And he was like, we got to go at 5:45. And I said, are we like some old ass people? Like, what the fuck are we doing on the senior discount at Nobu? So all of this shit is going on, So I released myself and went into my, submissive energy, and I bought a cute ass yoga. I mean, does that call yoga, or is it called like more of a fitted jog? I don't know what you call it.
Whatever. It made the ass pop. And that was, we had gone somewhere after like some little bar. And she had got up to walk around. No, this was like we went to a bar. Mm-hmm. And she was walking out, and the ass was just so like just.
I can't believe you're even saying this.
No. It was like it was amazing. A white guy, the white guy was trying to get her attention, which at first I said that is kind of disrespectful, but then I said, let me just back down and appreciate the fact that this man appreciates a nice voluptuous.
No, he said something complimentary to you. He said something like, I see you, man, or that's what he said, something that made like it was like basically like, okay, all right. And that's what I was like, look at the white boy. He's like, yeah, I try to give you your props. But y'all, it was crazy. Loungewear, kind of relaxed too, but it was very fitted. It was like, yeah, it was fitted, not like loungewear that's loose. It was like.
So keep in mind, it wasn't like I was in a suit, and that's the thing. I think, and I was trying to tell Sassy even back then, you don't have to get. And I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but I don't care. You don't have to go through the whole getting suited up and all of that anymore. That's for people who don't have it any longer, or old school people. Now you come in, I walked in there with a baseball cap, with jeans on, everything expensive, of course, but that was my attire, because I'm not interested in doing. I don't feel comfortable just going out to eat in a suit, it's just not me. It's just not me, which Sassy also has an issue with as well. But that's for a different conversation we'll have.
But I just want to say that was like, I trusted you to that extent. It was like it was interesting for me to like put down my guard, be in submissive mode for that one request, because that was a clear request. Like, I want us to just be comfortable. We're already going to be a little nervous because this is our first time meeting, which we really weren't that nervous after like the first 5 minutes. It was like, oh, okay, this is like the nigga that I've been talking to. And you know what I mean? Like, it was cool. But it was a testimony to, like, for the women to really, like, let your guard down and trust that, because what are you going to really lose by putting on something comfortable and going to a 5-star restaurant? Like, you're not going to lose anything in that process. If you find out that you're uncomfortable doing it, then you just don't do it again. But for me, I was so comfortable. Remember, we had the little situation with the car with the driver, and we came back and I changed my heels to tennis shoes. Yeah, because I had on heels. So it was like that kind of a, fitted outfit that I could put on heels in. And,
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm glad you mentioned that about the Uber drivers. And I don't know if your audience has experienced it, but these Uber drivers are too talkative. They have a thing, because I was only ordering Uber Black or Uber.
I was going to say that was a Black, though, so that's why you were like,
And I was like, and you thought it was rude because one person was talking. I said, I'm going to select quiet, because you can set your preferences if you want quiet, if you want your driver to set up or what have you. And I just noticed that a lot are just very talkative when it's clear I don't want to talk, I don't want to make any.
Well, that's just your thing, because you're kind of mean. But the other thing is, they think that they may think, you're saying, are you saying no to you're the little mean? Not me.
Don't put that out there.
I'm sorry, babe. Okay, you're the nicest. You're so
Thank
sweet
you
and nice. I don't even know what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
But
I'm glad you came to your senses.
Oh, it takes me a while, child. But but that's not the point of this story. But yeah, he's very particular about that. But sometimes I think they're just talking because they think that they're gonna get a better tip. But you can, you
can talk your way out of a tip with me.
That's the damn truth, ain't it? Baby, that's the damn truth. But yeah, but anyway, y'all, we'll tell y'all more about that, because like I said, it wasn't, we just get so tickled sometimes, and sometimes I think we used to get offended by people trying to tell our story or what they think might have been the story, but
our virtual relationship,
but it was very specific, very measured, very strategic, methodical. There's a lot of adjectives. It wasn't, I'm in love with this dude's voice, or I like the way her titties sit up. It was not physical, like, you know what I'm saying? It just wasn't like that. It was like, yeah, okay, we're attracted to each other, and now what? And it was very, very clear. And from minute one, and I have to say this before we leave, this man, we eventually got there, but this man was not talking to me as a sexual object at all. He was talking to me trying to get to know Sassy, the real person. So there's a lot of things sometimes that we want to say, and that's why we're like, if you do it this way, then that's just a hookup. Or if you do it that way, then the woman is she's going to put herself out there vulnerable, or the man, or whatever. But it's a real relationship. So it's not as easy as it appears, I guess, but it's not as simple as it appears. Like, there's a lot of stuff that has to go along with it. And had he started talking to me in a sexual manner, then we wouldn't be here today. You know what I mean? Like, it was just some real life shit that happened out of the blue. We weren't looking for it, but we want to talk more about that, because we just think people have misconceptions.
Yeah, because at some point I need to explain what caught my attention about you. And a lot of that had to do with how you acted on panels. And that's what I also want to say to women here is, you never know who's listening to you. And you need, it's good to have fun and stuff, but some things keep to yourselves. You may give out certain information that may turn somebody completely away from you, unbeknownst to you. So always keep in mind, you don't know who every member of your audience is. And if you're single, you could be blocking a blessing. So just keep that in mind. Anyway, great live. I got to go.
Thank you, babe, for coming up. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you later. Smooches, kisses. Well, yeah, so we're going to do that. I am going to have, I will announce it again, but I'm going to have a monetization party. We'll be announcing that, and then we are definitely going to do our whole story where you guys can ask us questions. I think we're going to do that February 13th. So that'll be that Sunday. I kind of want to do it at night, but that's not going to be prudent because we're probably going to be out and about. So I don't know about that. Let me not, but we are going to do the story though. You know, you guys have heard a lot today, but there's just so much more. Again, we just feel like being responsible about how we met is, you know, it's like more of our way of being transparent than like I said, like it's some fantastical love story. Like, no, there's a lot of work that goes into it, meeting somebody online and depending on where you meet them online. So anyway, we will be discussing that with y'all. You'll see it because it'll say, you know, in that particular one, it won't be a Sunday morning chit chat. I'll literally put it in the title and I'll probably broadcast it a few days earlier for all those who want to know. And hopefully the point of it is for us to help you guys throughout your search and your journey, not to be afraid to find love online, but to also be cautious, be very specific, be very pointed, because a lot of things matter. Turns out that the traveling overseas did not matter as much as I wanted it to matter. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of other things that absolutely matter. So we'll be transparent and like I said, answering questions. But thank you guys so much for hanging in there. This was just another Sunday morning chit chat. I hope you guys have a blessed Sunday and a blessed rest of your week. I appreciate each and every one of you and all of your support and all of your commentary. You guys are a hoot. And if you guys appreciated the show and want to tip the host, the Sassy Show 1 is my Cash App. All the proceeds do go back to the show. Also, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're not. And for all of you who will see the replay, I love you, replay gang, and all you Bush watchers or you Skybox watchers, you guys make the show go round. So you are much, much appreciated. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you, especially if you're somebody who I haven't seen in a while or somebody who doesn't drop down. Let me know you're watching and let me know what you think. And let me know what you want to hear in the future, because this show is for the people, baby. It's for the people, okay? What's up, Big Man TV? All right, you guys, we're going to play the opening because y'all know how in love I am with my damn opening, bitches. All right, bye, you guys. And for all the content creators that have real content, smooches, okay? I'll see y'all. Probably not on these streets, but you know what I'm saying. Bye.
I want you to stand up tall and proud. I want you to speak up clear and loud.